Now, as some of you may know, I am a very big Harry Potter fan. Today, I'm wearing my Hogwarts sweater, green because I'm a Slytherin, because today I decided we are going to sort some Jorvegian characters into Hogwarts Houses. So I've just made it simple. I've chosen a bunch of characters from the original games and I'm gonna base them off of that, for the most part at least. So Alex, I think that is a pretty clear Gryffindor because she's always out there looking for trouble, she wants to start fights, no issue there. She is definitely Gryffindor. I think we can all agree that Anne is also a pretty easy character to sort because she always thought so highly of herself, she wanted to be a model, and not to mention she is the sole rider of the Sun Circle, which indicates leadership, so yeah, she is a definite Slytherin. Brittany is another character that is shown as very ambitious as well, because she aims towards being the greatest superstar there ever was, and she looks up to the biggest ones like Cindy. So I would also place her in Slytherin. Okay, Buck is a really difficult one because he doesn't really have any character traits, he's just a bully, and being a bully is not a house trait. I'm thinking pretty hard about him, and I think the only thing we have to go on is that he's pretty much of a simp for Katja. I mean, he just does whatever she tells him to do, no questions, ever. So I think that if that is the only thing we have to base him off of, because he doesn't really show any character traits, I think he would go in Hufflepuff, because he is like loyal to Katja. Honestly, is Concord even a question? Concord is exactly like Anne in every single way. Like, the personalities are merged, I feel like, so he is a Slytherin as well. He always strives for perfection and he thinks of himself as perfect as well. So yeah, he's a Slytherin. Okay, when I think about how Coyote is as a person, I think about how he left Jorvik to pursue his dream of Western riding. And even when he comes back, he's running a ranch and he becomes our mentor in the Lone Star Rodeo. So you know what? He's gonna be in Slytherin as well. Oh god, we're having a lot of Slytherins here. Okay, Derek is definitely not a Gryffindor because he always seemed so unsure about like asking Anne out and everything. And also, when he lost his berry, he sends Anne instead of going himself. So he's not a brave person, definitely. He does strike me as a very shy person, so maybe Hufflepuff? His crush on Anne does help that. Yeah, Fripp is an easy one for me. It's a clear Ravenclaw. He sees everything in the stars and he knows everything that's gonna happen, so yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna place Herman in Ravenclaw as well, because he was always the one who taught us about the legends in the original games, and he always knew how those things worked and told us who to approach. James can't stick up for himself, so he's definitely not a Gryffindor. He's kind of portrayed like a scaredy cat who just needs protection. You know what? I like the idea of Gryffindor Alex protecting her Hufflepuff brother, so I'm gonna put him there. He kind of fits as well. He's not that fleshed out in the original games. I suppose later he would be in Slytherin, like definitely, because he only cares about his money and stuff. But originally, I think he would be more of a Hufflepuff. Jessica thinks highly of herself and wants to steal Anne's modeling thing. Yeah, the Dark Princess is a Slytherin. Katja strikes me as someone who's always up for a fight, and she just wants to fight for the sake of it. Yeah, I would put her in Gryffindor. Fits well having both Alex and Katja there. I imagine them always getting into rivalry in the common room. Imagine. Kevin is the embodiment of ambition, so he is a Slytherin. He knows every instrument out there. He is a musical genius. He's a genius in general. He is just overall the most Slytherin-y Slytherin there is. In the comic books, it's described how Kiyomi has a backbone personality, so based on that, I would put her in Gryffindor. Nobody's gonna question Linda being in Ravenclaw, that is 100% set. Okay, Lisa is a very difficult character to place because I feel like she's one of those characters who would fit into all of the houses. You could say Slytherin because she's clearly ambitious and wants to become a rock star. You could say Gryffindor because she learns to overcome her fear of horses. Or you could say Hufflepuff because she learns to make new friends in a new place and has this special bond with Starshine. And it also kind of aligns with her Star Circle powers. Yeah, I think I'll put her there. I'm not sure if I want to put Meteor in Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw, because he's always like hungry, and that is such a Hufflepuff thing, just loving food and coziness and all of that stuff. But he's also like Linda's horse, and with it he's kind of like wise. No, I think I'll put him in Hufflepuff, because he loves nothing more than to be all cozy. Mr. Sands is either a Ravenclaw or a Slytherin, because he must be a mastermind to accomplish all the things that he has, but he also needs to be ambitious and all of that stuff. He needs to be very powerful, and he is very powerful. He is the leader of Dark Core, so I think Slytherin would be the most fitting one, although Ravenclaw is a good alternative for him. I mean, he's the brains behind this whole operation. Mrs. Graham would also be either Ravenclaw or Slytherin, because she clearly values ambitions in schoolwork and good students and stuff, but that could also speak for Ravenclaw because she values students doing well in school. And she values a good reputation for the school. I think that's more of a Slytherin trait though. Mr. Wetton runs a nightclub, he runs a record label, he runs a ghost house, he is a clear leader, so I will not hesitate to put him in Slytherin. Sabine is someone who shows the not so good sides of Slytherin because she is willing to do everything it takes to get her way, and she is pretty nasty and she is manipulative, and yeah, she's a Slytherin. If I had to pick the teacher who cares the most about the students, I think I would actually say Miss Rita, so I'm gonna put her in Hufflepuff. Now, Morris Bergen is an interesting one because on one hand, he is the headmaster of Star Academy, so he would be a leader. He could be a Hufflepuff because all he does is searching for a cure for his wife. But I think he ends up in Ravenclaw because he most definitely is a very knowledgeable person and he knows everything about quality music, he knows everything about the Parthenope, and he is reading up everything he can to find the cure. So I would put him in a Ravenclaw. Now Lilith is just the same as Sabine, so I would put her in Slytherin for the same reasons. Lance is also very manipulative, so he will also go in Slytherin because he manipulates everyone by looking good or something. Okay, so the way Starshine is presented in the first couple of games makes him seem like the main hero of the story, like a very strong and heroic horse, so I would put him in Gryffindor. I mean, the first game series is literally named after him. Tin Can would also go in Gryffindor for the same reason as Alex, because they are very similar in personality. He's just a goofy horse who's not afraid of doing his thing. So this is gonna be my official sorting of the original characters. We got a lot of Slytherins here, a lot of ambition. I want to know from you guys if there are any of these characters you would place differently and why so. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, I'll see you around. Bye!